What is the most catastrophic claim that you've made recently?
Oh, gosh.
Well, I will say one of the golf cart ones was pretty
You're
interesting.
kidding. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
You're listening to Everybody Loves Naples, an unfiltered and educational podcast about living in Southwest Florida. We're your hosts. My name is Natalie Perez-Benatoa.
My name is Lance Martinicchio. From the best restaurants and things to do to our local real estate market, we're sitting down with local business owners and community leaders to provide a deeper understanding of what makes Naples, Naples.
Now let's get the show on the road.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Everybody Loves Naples. Today we have two special guests in the studio with us, Amanda Boge and Jen Johnson with My Florida Insurance.
Whoop, whoop.
So,
Lance.
Yeah, great to have you girls here.
Thanks for having us.
And love the color palette, looking very springy. I love it.
Yep, getting ready for Easter, summer.
All things.
Hurricane season, all the things important to insurance,
Yes,
right?
very
Yeah,
much.
so we're gonna dive into the wonderful, exciting world of insurance today a little bit,
All right.
and also get to know you guys a little bit better.
Perfect.
Great.
I mean,
So-
obviously, insurance rates are going up and all the things, especially if someone's purchased a home recently or heard about, some horror stories. So I feel like maybe we break that down and give the reality versus all the bad
perception.
news or the perception, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But maybe first tell us a little bit about how the two of you found each other to start the business and
and
what
how long-
inspired you.
Yeah. I started insurance in 2000. So this is my 25th year.
Wow.
Started in the family, just kind of worked my way up from the ground up.
Originally in this area?
Yes, I'm originally from Indiana.
Okay.
And I moved here in 2000. So I've been here in 25 years.
It's a lifetime.
It seems like it, but yeah, no, it's been great. I learned literally from the ground up, like every aspect of the job. And Amanda and I were fortunate to meet like 15 years ago, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. So she has a similar experience with her family coming into the industry.
Yep. So I started back in 2005. I worked for my aunt's agency and really loved helping people and learning about insurance. Was ready for a change from Colorado and moved to Florida. So continued my insurance career. Went to a few different places, met Jen, and here we are today.
Nice. So you guys decided to partner up and work together and then start your own company.
Yeah. So our agency is almost 13 years old. Almost. So Amanda, myself, and my husband Trevor all own the agency. We're just sitting around one day, and we were all interested in real estate, and we said, well, let's just stick with insurance too. And we actually are both dual licensed.
Yeah.
So we have experience in both, but our specialty is insurance, of course.
So sales and insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And you have
awesome.
a great name.
Yeah,
My
Trevor came up
Florida.
with that. So
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I came up with one good thing, Trevor.
So then you've seen it change over the years.
Oh, yes.
What's
sure.
the biggest change that you've seen? Obviously, I know it's been 25 years, but if there's a huge change that we should, I guess, pay attention to, what would it be?
I would say that we're in a good place right now in the insurance market. They've done a lot of legislative things that have eliminated some of the frivolous lawsuits and things like that, which helps us all as consumers. So we're getting a lot more carriers in the marketplace, which just leads to better rates when there's competition.
Sure.
It just makes it better for everybody. So we're a broker. We have a variety of different options. We heavily vet the carriers that we write through before we take anybody on. So
yeah, there's so many companies out there. I mean, you can go down the street and see insurance after insurance. But with us, that's the biggest thing is we really look into who we're writing through. And, our name's out there on that. So we want to make sure that whatever we're giving you advice on that, we're comfortable with it too. And we can sleep at night.
Yeah.
And we have personal relationships too with all of our carriers. So, if we ever do need something, we don't want to be calling into an 800 number. They know who we are. We have relationships. We're on the agent advisory committees of several carriers. So we know the CEOs, the presidents of the companies, which makes a big difference whenever you do need that favor.
Yeah.
So I would say you actually have, which carriers are going to be better to work with if you do have a claim or need something, right?
I would say based off experience and the amount of claims that we've had, there's definitely a difference with, what you're looking for. Are you looking for price and you're willing to sacrifice maybe other things, or are you looking for the end
Good
result
coverage.
and pay a little bit more?
Yeah.
There's different ways, and I think that's how we help them navigate too. So
And do you cover both residential and commercial?
We do. Our
Okay.
specialty is residential.
Yeah. Okay.
We do commercial as an accommodation line for our clients, but our kind of bread and butter is the personal lines. So home, auto, boat, umbrella, golf carts.
So funny. We do a lot of golf carts.
Really?
Well, yeah, everyone moves into a community.
I
out
know,
there
you
with
need your golf
cart.
cart.
I need it insured. Do you have a lot of claims on the golf carts?
We've only had 2, I believe.
I'm
If I can
curious.
think, we've had 2 totals.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, satisfied clients at the end.
I feel like I have so many questions or things that I, as a realtor, go through and try to explain to my client. And the best way to do it is just to connect them to the professional, like yourselves. But I feel like we need to give the people what the people want. Okay. What is the most catastrophic claim that you've made recently?
Oh, gosh.
Well, I will say one of the golf cart ones was pretty
You're
interesting.
kidding. Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it was a drive off of a cart path, but the cart path was over water and it just drove off
And then
into
the cart was
and then
in
it
the water.
sunk.
And was there someone in the cart?
No,
or
they
wasn't-
were able to get out, but
Yeah, so nobody was injured.
nobody was
so that good.
injured.
Was
No
it turtle
windows.
walls?
No windows, no doors. That does
Yeah.
definitely help. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, those are the light ones.
Yeah.
There's been some casualties in golf carts in this area. I remember
Seriously?
oh yeah, there's been a few people that have died.
Oh, well, fortunate enough,
Well, hopefully,
we haven't
I'm
had
just
that. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, we need to.
Well, there's so many golf
Source
carts now
that,
that are
Jay.
street legal. So
Yeah.
you'll see them
Yeah.
driving on the roads, and they have to actually get a
Yeah.
license plate. Yeah, that's.
I think
a whole
they
different,
should get that for those electric bikes too that
Oh,
are
gosh,
everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a thing? Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been in Naples a long time.
Yeah.
Naples, Bonita, Southwest Florida. I know you have 2 children that you raise your kids here.
Yes.
It sounds like they're happy and
They're awesome. 8 and 10, Lincoln, my oldest son, Reese, my daughter. They're just great. You know, they're really good kids.
They embrace
I
the
know.
Florida lifestyle.
They do, but honestly, they love, like, as much as they love it here, they love traveling out west, and they love the snow. We've gone out west so many times. They never complain about the cold. They
Wow.
never complain about any of that, and it's
because
crazy.
they know they can come back
I
to
think
the
so,
beach.
or they just weren't born there, so it's just so exciting
Right.
for them.
Same thing with me. I mean, whenever we go away somewhere, my son embraces everywhere, but then he does. He loves coming back to Florida.
Yeah.
It's so much more enjoyable knowing that you don't have to do it.
Right.
Don't have to scrape the snow off
No,
the
I know.
windshield.
Yeah.
It's always going to be our home. I mean, I could never imagine it not.
Right.
You always hear about the kids from Florida that never get to see the snow. So those are definitely not her kids.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so the fact that hurricane season is coming up, I was just re-educated that it's June 1st that officially it starts. And then when does it end? It's like, is it
November
getting...
30th.
That's
that
a
new?
long
I feel like it
time.
used to end October.
I think we wanted it to end.
We
in
wanted it to
October.
be November 1st, but it was really always
That's
the
a full
30th.
6 months.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or 5 months.
It's
That's a long time.
it
Okay,
is a very
so
long time.
what are some tips we can prepare homeowners to protect their home?
Well, I would say a lot of people leave. So,
True.
but I'm not saying to leave. I'm just saying if you leave, always, of course, make sure you have a home watch. Have them bring in your, lanai furniture, those kind of things.
Shutters,
check your water. Make sure
yeah.
your water's, not turned on. Those kind of things like that.
Yeah, and if you have hurricane shutters, a lot of the newer homes are going with impact glass, so you don't have to have someone put up your
Right.
shutters for you.
Yeah.
But those are, obviously can prevent.
How much of a credit do you get for having hurricane impact windows?
That's a great question.
On your
It
insurance.
depends on many things, but the biggest thing will be if it's up to code. So if the home is already built up to code, so it includes the impact windows or shutters, then a lot of times that discount's just automatically included.
Gotcha.
But if it's an older home, older than 2002 or
Yep.
maybe in 2007 sometimes, then there's a significant discount on
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
it could be, hundreds or thousands depending on what kind of premium we're talking about too.
Especially
so-
on the older homes, like the pre-2002 homes, if they have the hurricane shutters, that's where we usually see maybe a couple thousand in savings. But the new construction homes are obviously the least expensive to insure because they're built to the latest hurricane codes.
Yes.
Sure.
So
Is that for shutters or impact?
it's the same discount for either, which is kind of interesting because you
Wow,
would think
that
that
is
the
a-
glass would be more of a discount because you don't physically have to do anything, but it's the same discount.
So you're telling me, and this is for a client, if you're listening, you're telling me that if the home was built, let's call it in the late 80s, the sellers have put in impact windows as of 2009, so they're not brand new. the discount is not any different from that home to the home next door with the shutters of the
Correct.
same age.
If it's exactly the same, if it's shutters impact, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And it has to be every single opening.
That is the
Right?
caveat.
Okay.
That's always the question we get is like, they're in a condo. I'm going to put some shutters on my lanai. It's like, well, is the front door impact rated as well? 'Cause
Right,
it's an
the
opening.
garage.
The
Yeah.
garage door or that
garage door.
side load door
Or-
to the
Yeah.
garage.
Side door
Skylight.
Yeah, skylights.
I have a skylight. It has
Is that
the
like
impact.
above the front door?
No,
Oh
it's
no, Lance! Like go back to like the Midwest. The
My-
skylights like on the roof.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I know that. But what about the opening above a front door that lets in light?
Oh,
Just
just
another
a
window.
magnesium window. Yeah.
Yeah, then that just has to be impact rated.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the skylights for some of these older homes, I think it's such a cool feature. I personally love a skylight,
Yeah.
especially in like a bathroom.
Yeah.
So hard to get impact up there.
Yeah.
I feel like either they're custom shapes and
Yeah.
it sounds like we need to have an impact window person on.
Yeah.
Because I do think I actually didn't realize that if it's the same discount for impact shutters or
Windows.
I think it's going to depend on the client too. What are they looking
Yeah.
to pay for? Because the impact windows are going to be more than
Right.
the shutters are going
Right.
to be. So
But
Yeah.
they'll get more there's more value in
yeah,
their home if
Yeah.
it's
I think the impact glass is just nice because it's
Sound.
you don't have to put them up, and
Yeah,
depending on how many
sure.
windows you have, that
Right,
can be a
right.
lot
Oh
of
my
labor or a
gosh.
2-story home.
Yeah.
That can be a big to do. So
and the sound buffer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have kind of a busy road behind you, but you have that impact glass, it's like, oh,
yeah.
nice little sound buffer.
So you guys are seeing the insurance kind of settle down a little bit from the past like 3 to 4 years because
definitely.
Yeah.
right, everything was kind of chaotic and carriers were just pulling out of Florida and
Right.
everything. The world was ending.
It
and
was
so
chaotic for sure.
It's kind of settled down. You still have a lot of carriers back in the marketplace that
Yeah.
came back.
or
Is that kinda what happened?
new.
Yeah, I think
new
there was,
carriers?
Or
new 12 new, 8 maybe 8 to
Yep.
12 new carriers just came back and came into the market at the end of last year.
Okay.
We're not seeing double-digit increases anymore. We're seeing maybe single or even
Some
zero,
little
and some
decreases.
decrease.
Okay, that's
so
good.
that the 1 point that's great. It's just to even see them still survive through all of that. That makes the company even stronger and makes us all more educated on how to go forward with them.
And we're seeing Lee and Collier because of Hurricane Ian. A lot of carriers, maybe they're writing in other parts of the state, but they weren't writing here, or maybe they're only writing homes 5 years and newer. We're seeing that open up a lot, which is great for our clients because then we can provide more options to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if we have somebody who is at one point forced placed because the home is old, they have a very small mortgage on it, it's basically paid off, and the mortgage company, of course, makes them have some kind of minimal coverage. Is there an option for those sellers to get insurance to hold them over now? I think a lot of sellers maybe have that misconception of, I was forced placed and there's nothing else I can do forever and ever. Amen.
Right.
Like,
Right.
when is that different now?
I would say for forced plays, we have options. They would still kind of look at it as a no prior situation,
Okay.
because they don't really take that as proof of a regular policy.
Okay.
But there are options for it. It just has to, if it's an older home, it would just need to make sure a 4-point inspection. So the roof, the HVAC, the electrical, the plumbing, all of those are in good standing order. And then, we have many options. That's what's so nice about being a broker is we have more on the shelf than other people typically do.
Right. You
And
can get-
sometimes too with our relationships that we have, if it was in 2023 and there weren't any options in Lee County to get coverage, so they had to go force placed, if we can get a statement of no loss, which just means that the client hasn't had any reason to file a claim since then, we can ask for exceptions on those as well, depending on the situation.
Yeah,
So
depending on the risk and so forth. If it's something we're passionate about and we feel that is a good risk, then we can present that.
Okay. Great. And what about these commercials like bundle your car and auto? I feel like that's not a thing in Florida. I'm sure it is, but will you speak on that a little bit?
yeah, so as far as national carriers, there's not a lot of national carriers here writing home insurance, which is what you see. It's funny, they spend all this money on these ads
Seriously.
for our area and
Yeah.
they don't apply.
No.
Yeah, we do have some carriers that definitely give a discount if you have an auto policy within the agency. And then we also, on the auto side, you get a discount for being a homeowner, which is a
Okay.
significant savings.
Okay.
So not a true same company. A lot of
Right.
the home companies only want to focus on the home product.
Yep.
The auto carriers only want to focus on the auto just because of the risk in Florida with the hurricanes. They don't want to be too saturated.
Right.
Yeah.
I know with some of the new construction, like D.R. Horton, for example, they use Progressive, I'm pretty sure. And then so we are bundled, actually.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But I don't see any savings. I'm curious. I might just send it to you guys
we'd
and
be
say,
happy to take a
shop
look at
this
it.
because this is what we're paying. But I know a new home is a little different or a newer home than some of this resale stuff.
I would say the biggest challenges I see a lot with my clients is, the age of the roof.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, a tile roof that was 25, 30 years, it's 20 years now.
Right.
But there's still nothing wrong with the roof.
Yeah.
But insurance just doesn't want to insure a roof that's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Or is it 15 years now?
It depends on the carrier.
I think that's actually probably the biggest.
Yeah, that's so true.
It is. And we, basically when we look at a risk that comes through, we have to even sometimes look and see, okay, where is this going to fit in our matrix of, carrier options and underwriting guidelines? But a lot of the carriers will say, okay, do you have a 4-point inspection? And on that 4-point, does it say the roof has at least 5 or more years life remaining on it? And there's no deficiencies, there's no mortar missing, there's no cracked tiles.
Yeah.
And if everything is sound, then we can present it as an option. And a lot of times the carrier will take on the risk.
Okay.
And if there's a third nail.
Yes, third nail's a big one.
Third nail is a
Thirdnail.com.
big one. Yeah.
They got in right when they needed to on that one.
Seriously. Well, it's like if you don't have a third nail on your roof, you can, for like $1,500, go get it done, and it saves.
It usually saves at least
double, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
just depends, but yeah. And then also with one more thing on the roof too, a lot of the carriers are getting a little bit more creative, so they're doing roof schedules. So maybe if you have that older roof and it's still in good condition, they'll just do it at an appreciated value instead of replacement.
Okay, I have actually heard of that before. Yeah.
So we definitely have options, which is nice, because before it was just black and white, yes or no. Where now at least we can kind of navigate the different carrier options and see where we can find a fit.
So it's not a blanket statement of my roof is 15 years old, I'm going to be dropped.
No.
Not a blanket. So
Not
that's a huge misconception.
There's a lot of options.
Okay.
I'd say even more so now because they're getting creative.
There's just a lot of misconceptions too out there that people they don't look into it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just
Well, and the
hear-
great thing about us is, like you had mentioned, taking a look at your policies, we're very honest. We will take a look at your policies. If we can help you, great. If we can't, or if we see something that you could tweak on your policy to make it better, we'll certainly let you know that. Our business is built on referrals, and we that's how we get our referrals. So we may, hopefully we have a great option for you, but if what you have is great, we'll let you know that.
Yeah.
And at least you have peace of mind knowing that the policy you have is good, if we can't help you.
Yeah. I think too, just to kind of piggyback off of that, the third nail option is so many times you may get a quote from another agency, and they may not even let you know about that third nail, and they just quote it as is, and we give the option, hey, here's the quote as is, but if you get that third nail, then here's what the quote would be. So we would I think it's all about educating and making sure that if it were me, I'd want to make sure to have the best option to and know.
Well, because that could kill a deal. I mean, if you have somebody that's buying a $500,000 house and the insurance rate comes back at $6,000 a year, that would that could kill a deal. Where now we present this option. Oh, you spend $1,000 and now your rate's $3,500.
Right, and for the finance buyer, that's huge, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they might not be able to qualify for the home at that
And
point.
don't you guys offer some educational for realtors where you'll go into their offices, or how does that work?
Yeah, so Amanda and I were kind of getting approached, here and there to kind of give some 101s on insurance to help get your guys' deal to the closing.
You heard it here first on Everybody Loves Naples.
My Florida Insurance.
But yeah, it's great. We go through just kind of the ins and outs of what to look for, what to help with, what's going to save you money on insurance, what's going to get you hung up on an inspection, where to look as soon as you get the paperwork back on an inspection, kind of what to look for and how to get those things fixed.
Yeah. And they have a website, guys, myfloridinsurance.com.
All spelled out.
And I was looking on there, and I saw a little button that says "Get a Quote." I did not click it because I wanted to save some of this for the show. But when you go on there, I mean, what if somebody does? They're just shopping around.
Yeah.
Are those pretty accurate? And what information do they have to know off the top?
Yeah.
To get a quote?
It's pretty quick. It's just a few pages they fill out, basic information. I mean, you don't really even have to have anything in front of you as far as your personal information goes. But it would be nice if you had, if it's not a new purchase and you're looking to shop your rates, have your declaration page there with you, type it all out real quick, or you can always just call too or email it to us. But once it goes into our system, you get that quote if it's the same day, usually within a couple of hours, if not sooner. If it's Amanda and I, so we're usually really really on top of those kind of things. But no, usually it's almost always same day. I would say 99% of the time same day if it's during business hours.
And it's one of you and one of you or your other agents, brokers who would call. It's not going out to some.
No, we're all
it's not
local.
like Progressive, right? Everybody, so that's huge, right? It's
you get a real person there,
Yes.
a real local person
Right.
too. You know, it's people that have been there. Our longest staff has been there almost 9 years. So you know that's
How
huge.
old's the company again? 15 years?
2008, I think.
Yeah.
2008?
Yep.
So,
Sorry, no.
none of us.
That's when.
Oh, wait, yeah.
No.
Okay, so Lincoln's 10, so
It
it's
was
11.
2013.
I
We're
love
going
that.
on 12.
I love that math. Yes.
Yeah, so
That's
almost
awesome.
12. Almost
Sorry.
12. But
No.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Awesome. So, okay, now we know a little bit more about insurance, what you do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what you like to do outside of work and insurance. So, I know you guys have been here a while. Do you have a favorite restaurant, lunch spot, dinner?
Yeah, I mean.
So who's the foodie here?
We both
Well, I think we both are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sourdough.
Yeah, sourdough
Sourdough,
bread.
sourdough queen
Sourdough
here.
bread maker.
Should have brought a sample.
I know.
Oh, sounds delicious.
I mean, there's always the classic USS Nemo. Like, how can you
they have
not
great seafood.
love their sea bass there?
So
like,
been
so
there in
And you go
like
right to
7
the one in
years.
love.
yeah.
Nice.
Afterwards, just no, that place is definitely. And I was telling Amanda the other day, J. Alexander for lunch is honestly like if you just want a really nice lunch, big salad.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't really. I'm not familiar with that place.
Oh, so it
It
used
just
to
opened in
be
Naples.
Buca de Pepo,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I think
Is it
it's
a
great.
chain? Or
It is actually a chain.
too.
Yeah, and it didn't just open, I don't think.
But
Good.
it's
Easier.
it's kind of similar to
Oh,
Bricktops at
oh.
Waterside.
Okay.
Newer.
So kind of like a similar
new.
vibe to
Bricktops
that.
is great.
I love Bricktops.
Best
Their
burger.
artichoke.
Oh,
yeah.
I
Are
haven't
so
had that.
good. Oh my gosh, and their sushi.
Yeah, we
The
walked over
burgers
there a lot
there
for lunch.
are like top notch.
Yeah, everything there is so
Yeah.
good. Now I'm just hungry.
I know.
Okay.
I was going to ask hobbies because obviously I know you guys are both involved in the community. So what kind of hobbies do you like to do in this beautiful paradise of Naples?
Well, Amanda's more on the tennis side
Yep.
and very involved in her community. I would say
I think I saw her actually one time when I was in there getting ready for a big match.
Oh yeah, probably.
I was in,
Yeah.
you know, seriously, there was like 100 people and yeah, I
Oh.
think I was touring someone through there or something. I remember I ran
That's probably
into
our
you.
tennis member guest.
Yeah. She's like, I can't talk to anyone. She's just
too focused, ultra
Wait, so how many
focused.
times do you play a week?
I try to get out there a couple times a week. It's a great form of exercise
Yeah.
and just to be able to kind of turn your brain off for that hour or two
Yeah.
that you play. I just love
I
it.
mean, you have to be so present
Yeah.
with tennis. There's like, I mean, if you blink, you can.
Yeah.
I'm not a racket sports.
You haven't
Yeah.
converted to the pickleball craze?
No.
I feel like this is about like this is like the.
I feel like it's a
Pickle
snowboard
and
ski or battle.
Totally.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
like the
Yeah.
the amount of communities where it's like, oh, I see they have tennis courts. Like, is there pickleball? And it's like, no, because then they have to take the tennis courts away, and then tennis players, they, will say, no, we're not.
Yeah. Pickleball is great. It's so fun. You can do it with anybody. So whenever we have friends in town, we always go and play pickleball, which is super fun.
Where do you play? Which?
In our
Public.
community.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's
Nice. Which community do you live in?
fun. Quo West.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got it all there. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so I play golf. Of course, my husband had a former golf background, so
Yeah.
still try to just be involved with that as much as I can. The kids love playing too. They just go out the back sometimes.
Where do you guys like to play?
We live in Imperial, so
Okay.
we're a member there, and we
Nice.
can literally, after everyone's kind of done, sometimes we can even just go out and
Sneak out, right?
yeah, it's great. But yeah, I honestly love to read too. I'm kind of a nerd that way, but
I think it's great.
it takes my mind away from all of, all the noise and stuff like Amanda says, and just kind of immerse myself into that.
Yeah,
So-
Lance is still learning how to read.
Yeah,
He's missing
oh,
out.
Lance.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get that.
Yeah, I have a tutor. So
Let us know when you need some good book recs.
Yeah, we actually have a little library we have at our office now. So, and I mean,
Aw.
we probably have like almost 100 books or
Yeah, I would
something
say,
there.
yeah.
So our staff and whoever would just come and take and exchange, and
That's
so
kinda
it's been
nice.
kind of just a fun thing we've incorporated.
And where are you guys located? Where's your office at?
We are off of Old 41, next to Chubby Mermaid.
Yep. So the new brewery, newish brewery in town, just south of Bonita Beach Road off Old 41.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on over there, actually.
Yeah.
With all
What's the
new-
brewery in town?
It's called the Chubby Mermaid.
Oh, that's the actual brewery.
Yeah.
Because I know that name because I think they had a vendor at Brookside Beer Market down in Naples before they got started. So I didn't realize they were open.
Yeah, they're actually a startup out of they started in their garage.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah. Okay, great. They're open. Amazing.
Yeah.
We have a lot of breweries in Bonita.
Yeah.
I mean, even Riptide moved here to Bonita.
When there's ceremony.
Ceremony.
Yeah.
Is that when and where? it used
Hop
to be?
size.
Hop size.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the IPA one.
Yep.
What was the original one? Momentum.
Momentum.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yep.
They
Brian.
sold though, right?
Yep.
Did they? I was
Yeah,
wondering.
he's in Asheville now.
Oh.
That's what Riptide became.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did it? Oh.
It's Momentum's location.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I knew they did sell. Yeah.
And
See,
then
this is
Anchor
a
Lab.
microbrewery education.
Yes, right.
It is. Anchor Lab is probably still my favorite.
I have yet to go there.
You have
I've
to
always
go,
wanted-
and even if you don't like IPA, which I don't consider myself an IPA or a beer drinker really, Turtle Season is the best beer.
Ooh.
Local beer, in my opinion.
Nice.
Let's do a beer tasting at some point.
Should have started with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have started with that. Well, where can we find you? Obviously, myfloridaiinsurance.com to learn more about you guys. But I know you're also active on social media. You do a lot of marketing. You do a lot of Q&A on Facebook.
Yep.
Can you tell the audience where to find you and how to contact you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're local, so our address is 28292
Yeah, come on
Stop
in.
by the office.
Industrial Road,
Come
Unit
on
2,
in.
next to the
After
brewery.
Chubby Mermaid.
Get an
next to
insurance
Chubby-
quote, go get a beer.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, and then of course we're always available online. And the other thing that's really unique about us is that I'll just let you know is that we don't only write in Florida. We actually write in almost 15 plus
wow.
other states.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's been a really nice niche for us for having our up north customers.
I was just
come
about
here.
to say, so now you can
Yeah.
connect with the people that are buying down here from
Yeah.
somewhere else because you're familiar with where they're from.
Yes.
And
Yep. And then they can have one agent to handle their policies in Florida and in
Yeah.
Michigan or Ohio or, wherever that they're from. So
it's all in-house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most of the time they're transitioning down here, and eventually, they're going to sell their homes up north.
Yep.
So, and maybe their agent they've had up north for many years, and they're kind of retiring, or they've sold to somebody else, and they're not getting the same level they used to, or the expectations are different.
Yeah.
So it's nice for us to be able to just help them with all of it.
I love it.
Yeah.
So is it like up there?
Oh my
up
gosh.
they're
there?
usually about half.
half.
Yes.
But their property taxes are more.
Yes,
I
true.
feel like it all kind
You
of,
got to pay for the sunshine.
yeah, right?
well, what about all the car accidents?
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like there's less on this coast than the East
Yes.
Coast.
Yeah. The rates are definitely less here, so they do vary.
Yeah.
Rates vary in
course.
different parts of Florida.
By zip code
Miami's going to be
For car
double.
insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for car insurance.
Yeah.
And home.
and home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My car insurance in LA was
Oh, gosh. I can only imagine.
pretty high, but it's actually higher now
Oh.
because I drive a nicer car. I mean, it's like,
We'll just
part
have to
of
check
the
that
deal.
for you.
Yeah,
Make sure
perfect.
it's
Please. Yes. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
Well,
But
thank
yeah,
you
we
both.
have, we do have, I mean, you mentioned Instagram too. We
Yes.
do have Instagram, so at myfloridaiinsurance.com. We post a lot of information, like you said, on
Yeah.
there. Things about our agents and, fun facts and all sorts of things. So
Well, you both are just so fun and lovely and easy to talk to, which is makes all the difference in the business we do, right?
yes.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
real people. You're not talking to a computer system
Yeah.
when you put your info in. So.
And it's insurance. It's not like
Is
super
AI going to
fun.
take
not
over
fun.
insurance?
Yeah.
So we have to try to.
Is AI going to take over insurance like they're saying it's going to take over realtors?
I mean, I hope not.
No,
I think you always need that special touch.
Yeah.
I'd like
You
to
know.
see them try.
Well, yeah, no, I know.
We definitely lean in on it for technology things.
Yeah.
It can help us with just, gathering information more quickly. But I still think you need that personal experience and the knowledge to really guide somebody in the right direction.
Yeah, I think just real quick, touching on that technology, after Ian, after Ian, there were no phone lines happening. There's no power anywhere. Our phone system allows us to work anywhere, and we were able to pick up. We actually went to Seat to Table because they were the only place
Only place with
locally
internet.
that had
Seat at the
Wi-Fi.
table.
That was open.
Yes,
All
and
night.
they let us go upstairs and run our business.
Yeah,
Wow.
Alfie literally gave us a private space to run because he knew that we were insurance
amazing.
agents.
That
Yeah,
is
it was
awesome.
really awesome.
Yeah,
That I
we're
did not know.
filing claims and filing their neighbor, like helping their neighbors who couldn't get a hold of their
Yeah.
agent because their phones weren't working. We were helping give them numbers and those kind of things.
Wow.
So
That's actually, I didn't even think of that. You know,
Yeah.
when the storm passes and it's all said and done, it's like,
yeah.
oh, we forget in the moment how scary it is or how inconvenient it is, even if you had no damage, but you don't have power or Wi-Fi.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can't check on your friends, your
Right.
Family down
And
the street.
The phone lines were so clogged up and everything because everyone was trying to make calls and
So do you guys stay if there's hurricanes then because of your business?
we have and we haven't. We've
Yeah.
kind of done both. Yeah. So
Like for Irma, we were able to evacuate and be able to facilitate our clients from afar. Like we said, all of our technology, if you call the office, I can answer it on my cell phone. So that was very helpful during that time, which was really great.
yeah, we were both driving back after Irma, answering calls and filing claims in the
That
car.
was what, 2017?
2017, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in 2022, we stayed and were able to do that from seat to table, and then my clubhouse a few days after that. So we just kind of hopped around wherever we could find internet to be able to service our clients.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
That's great.
yeah.
that's awesome.
So how do you appease Northerners that are scared of these storms?
Oh,
Because it's obviously more prevalent now with the most recent ones.
Because it's been like boom, boom, boom
And so
versus
it's top
a
of
few
mind
years.
for people.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's just really having that peace of mind that they know that if they need something, they can get in touch with us. We're going to answer the phone. We're going to answer our emails. We have texting capabilities.
You can't control the weather though?
No, unfortunately
Make the storm go
yeah,
somewhere else.
I know. I wish. Yeah.
I think for our listings, it's really important to have some insurance quotes if the seller again is self-insured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really an opportunity to make a lot of our inventory stand out by saying, here's the bottom line number.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking to do that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm gonna be in your inbox.
We
All right.
love it.
Do you guys touch base with your clients on a schedule? Like you are always in their corner following up. What's your process look like for that?
Yeah.
For local?
Amanda and I and Trev, of course, have all spent so much time putting that together
Yeah.
because we really fine-tuned it.
Yeah.
The follow-up process that we have is, it is so step-based off of when you close and then when we touch you again in an email and a text. We even send them a text letting them know, hey, heads up, remember your home is probably going to have a drive-by inspector come by to look, to give them a heads up on that.
Right. I think and that's where sometimes insurance can get a bad name, I think, because people aren't educated on what exactly is going to happen.
Right.
So if you just let somebody know, hey, just so you know, you're going to be contacted. Somebody's going to come and look at the outside of the home. Just make sure it's in good condition. No.
If he's in binoculars, call the cops.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, we always they're looking for nuisances, yard tripping hazards.
Unfenced trampolines,
Yeah,
vicious dogs.
undisclosed dogs, those kind of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So that's something. And then we still, to this day, handwrite a thank you card to every new customer that comes in to us. So there's
We have
just
a
lot
monthly
of-
newsletter.
Yeah,
every
a monthly
month we
newsletter that
do.
comes out.
And then right before renewal, about 45 days before the renewal, we always reach out and make sure there's no updates on the policy, if there's any changes that we need to make, or if they are unhappy with something that we can offer a different option. So yes, we're very involved in the follow-up. I think that's part of the relationship-based why we get so many referrals
Yeah.
is because we're very hands-on within the agency and we just want to make sure they have the best experience possible.
I think it's such a huge part of this is because
Yeah.
people buy a home, get approved, get the insurance, and then years go by and they find out from their mortgage company or, wherever their mortgage is being was sold, hey, your insurance company dropped you and now you owe X amount of escrow.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened to my brother.
Wow.
And so he didn't have I guess an insurance person. And this was before I was selling to set him up with somebody. But I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You
I would
know?
say one other misconception too is that you can only shop your insurance at renewal. You can shop your insurance anytime throughout the year. So
Okay.
we would be happy to take a look at it. And in the event that we do find something better, we also can assist with the cancellation. So we do the breaking up for you, which makes it because nobody wants to break up with
Yes.
your agent. So we try to make that part of things a little easier on you. So you don't have to wait for your renewal. We can shop it at any time,
yeah.
and we'll either tell you, hey, what you have's good. Maybe let's check it at renewal.
Yeah.
Or hey, we have something really great now. Let's make the switch now, and you'll get a prorated refund.
That's great.
I love it.
Good information.
Yeah, everybody with property insurance, auto, car, boat,
Yeah.
golf cart,
Give us a
reach
call.
out to them.
Yeah, let us know. Want to help.
Awesome. Well, that works. Thanks for being on.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah.